This is CBC Here and Now.
As the Mount Pearl strike enters its 8th week, both sides are more divided than ever.
I think it's a good offer for the employees and a great offer on behalf of the residents of Mount Pearl.
And now, because councils decided to bargain in public and put it out, we could be right back to square one again and spend weeks on the street.
It's a perfect night to walk the dogs. I'm at Beagle Paws for the evening, and I will have the full weekend forecast coming up.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Mount Pearl city workers are entering week 8 of their strike, and on the picket line, workers turned up the heat today, sending a direct and dramatic response to the city's latest offer. The CBC's Daryl Roberts reports.
It was a tense scene here at the picket line today when striking workers sent a strong message to the city of Mount Pearl. Its latest contract proposal pitched into the flames.
It was a standoff this morning. Managers on one side of City Hall and workers on the other. The city released details of its proposal last night. Mount Pearl held a special city council meeting to pitch a new agreement. It's proposing a 9% wage increase, 18 sick days, 2 personal leave days, and a $1,000 signing bonus, and offered equal benefits to both new and existing employees, a point of contention during past negotiations. But the union wasn't won over.
Council tried to paint a picture last night and pit the public against these people, and that's how bargaining's been done since day one.
President Ken Turner says the city is bargaining in bad faith, and it shouldn't have gone public with the details. Mayor Dave Aker is pushing back, saying council wants to be transparent.
Some of our residents think that we're not at the negotiating table, and I want to assure everybody that both CUPE and Mount Pearl have been at the negotiating table trying to resolve this issue. I believe we are close, and like I said, that longest yard is sometimes the hardest one to get.
The city is accusing some workers of safety violations during the strike, but when asked, the mayor didn't go into specifics.
Those are HR issues that get dealt with. But the intention here is only about accountability. It's not about firing people and getting rid of people. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that as the strike continues, that we continue to see safe picketing.
And you touted.
Turner says those accusations go too far and are a sticking point for the union, who won't accept a proposal until the city withdraws those claims.
There's been nothing egregious. This has been a very well-run strike. We've had no injuries. We've had no physical altercations. There's always been words. We've had no damage. We've had no stolen property. Everything has been run excellently in our opinion. And council wants to punish these people now.
The city says its latest proposal will also be its last, but the union says if necessary, it will keep members warm well into the winter, with the same fire used to burn the city's offer. Daryl Roberts, CBC News, Mount Pearl.
After many months of waiting, a St. John's woman has finally found a more suitable apartment. Phyllis Churchill's new home has lots of space to move around, and as Here and Now's Garrett Berry reports, it also comes with some much-needed freedom for Churchill and her family.
Here's what freedom looks like.
Mom is so different now than she was 2 weeks ago.
It's simple, a short walk down the hall. But for Phyllis Churchill, this is life-changing.
No, that doesn't do it. Oh, I find it good. Yeah? Yeah, very good. I'm able to get around more. It's, I like the area. Yeah, and I'm walking back and forth, maybe 5 or 6 times a day.
Just a few weeks ago, this was impossible. When Churchill was stuck, literally, in a house she couldn't navigate. Mobility issues made it impossible to climb the stairs that separated her bedroom from the rest of the house. So she was trapped, spending all day, every day, in her own room.
I was burning that room for a year and a half, yeah, almost 2 years.
But now there's simple joys, like watching TV with family and friends, or making breakfast, all on her own.
I don't have to be at the bottom of the book all day.
After CBC News aired Phyllis Churchill's story this summer, Newfoundland Housing quickly offered her a new place. It's not perfect. There's still stairs in and out that Churchill can't navigate, but it's an improvement, a big one.
Everything else is on the one level. It's such a big improvement because Mom can walk, from here to the bathroom to the bedroom, obviously with the help of her walker, but she's doing a lot better.
And what used to be unimaginable She even gets to sit out in the sun.
It was always so nice.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's a big improvement for me.
It was the first time she's done that in months. The family's work is not done yet. They'd like to find someone who can help them install a lift to get Phyllis in and out of the house on her own. But they say this is a step in the right direction. Garrett Berry, CBC News, St. John's.
What a beautiful evening to be outside tonight, and I figured what a beautiful place to do the weather on International Dog Day here at Beagle Paws. We've got lots to talk about. We're also going to meet some of these cuties behind us. There's only 3 back here, but there's lots more up for adoption for sure. And I thought we'd start by talking a little bit about the weather and how beautiful it is right now. Let's take a look at a live shot outside of the harbor there. The temperature this afternoon was actually warmer than it has been the last couple of days. We're currently seeing it about 24 degrees with that humidex around 31 right now, with a little bit of a southeasterly breeze, about 9 kilometers per hour. But yes, it's a pretty much perfect summer night. Those temperatures through central are sitting between 21 and 22 degrees, a little cooler for the northern peninsula, and then same thing up across the big land where you're not really seeing a whole lot in the way of the humidity. So the humidity is going to stick around for parts of the province, but I will get into all of those details when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, some good news for cabin owners in Central. The Forestry Department has opened more access roads branching off the Bay d'Espoir Highway. Roads in the Miguel Lake area are now open, but areas beyond the fire line are still prohibited. This includes an area along Great Rattling River Road, locally known as 45 Road. The Bay d'Espoir Highway is still open to traffic, but forced access roads around Northwest Gander are closed while fire crews remain in that area. Well, visitor restrictions are in place on 2 medical units at Western Memorial Regional Hospital due to a COVID-19 outbreak. The 2 affected units are 3A, which is cardiac care, and 3B, which specializes in chemotherapy and stroke patients. Western Health says visitation is limited to 1 consistent support person for any patients on those units who require one. It says staff will work with families to designate that person. Restrictions will be reassessed on September 1st. Well, the Terry Fox is back in its home port of St. John's tonight after a fire broke out on board while in Nunavut last week. No one was injured, and the crew was able to use fire extinguishers to put out the blaze. Fisheries and Oceans says the ship's port side service generator needs repairs, but the ship won't have to be taken out of the water to do so. It's still unknown what caused the fire, but it's estimated the 39-year-old icebreaker will be out of service until mid-September. In the meantime, DFO says other Coast Guard vessels will be able to cover any necessary icebreaking services. Well, there is a new salon in downtown St. John's that's been attracting a lot of attention. Selfie takers, a tour bus, and a city inspector have all visited the Curl Up and Dye beauty salon. But the thing is, it's not a real salon, but the owners did get a real letter from the city about it. Here and Now, Zach Gowdy got the real story from the homeowners this afternoon.
We're here at the Curl Up and Dye beauty salon. Hi, my name is Anne Picard-Vandering.
My name is Julian Vandering, and we're here on Gower Street in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador.
At the Curl Up and Dye beauty salon? You guys live here?
Yeah.
This is actually not a beauty parlor, but it's a film set for Hudson and Rex. We were approached by Hudson and Rex, and they wanted a location to have a beauty parlor for a half-day filming. So they reached out and asked if they could use our house, which ironically used to be a beauty parlor since at least the 1940s. And they came to do the set decoration, and when we came out, we saw that they had turned our house into Curl Up and Dye beauty parlor.
We'd had, communications from the neighbors, and neighbors thought it was funny, and we thought we'd leave it up for a little bit just to brighten up the neighborhood a little bit.
And we thought that was the end of it. Until
until we got a letter from the city informing us that they had been by to conduct an inspection, and apparently we were operating a business out of the ground floor of Gower Street. The city thought this was a real salon.
Yes, they did.
The city said that we were in contravention of this bylaw and that bylaw, and we could be subject to fines, and if we were found guilty, we would have to pay money to appeal it. So I wrote an email to them and included a picture of Hudson and Rex and said that, you know, it was an honest mistake. And then they got back to us and they said that the file is closed, there's absolutely no problem. Carry on.
Nothing to see here. Show's over.
Show's over, show's over.
I hope that the inspector is having a good laugh about this too.
And are the selfie takers still coming by?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we still got selfie takers coming by.
Yeah. Tour bus even came by and tourists got off and started taking pictures.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about living inside a now local landmark?
It's
go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And will you watch the episode of Hudson and Rex where your salon is featured?
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
I love that story. Let's check back in with Ashley, who's in the Goulds tonight at Beagle Paws in honor of International Dog Day, which is about celebrating all dogs everywhere. But Dog Day is also about bringing awareness to the well-being of animals and adoption. Right, Ashley?
There he goes.
That's right, Carolyn. And, you know, Beagle Paws has been advocating for beagles for nearly 20 years. And joining me now is the shelter manager, Sandra Whiteau. And, okay, so start by giving us a little bit of a background on Beagle Paws.
So, like you just said, we started like 20 years ago. We've come a long way in 20 years, I like to think, you know. 20 years ago, beagles were the first breed to be put to sleep if they ended up at a shelter, and Sheila Lewis realized that and wanted to do something about it, and then she wanted to promote them as, you know, a pet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, you know, the treatment of beagles in this province hasn't been great for many years.
Right.
And what changes have you seen over the years?
Well, when I think back to when I came on board about 15 years ago, very rarely would you even see somebody walking a beagle. Now you see them everywhere, right? And it's great. I think, you know, there are more and more, you know, living in homes, but we still have the ones living in pens, you know, 24/7, and just used as a tool for hunting. You know, so we still have changes to be made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have 2 beagles that we've rescued here from Beagle Paws. Can you talk a little bit about rescues and like how many are you getting? What kind of stories are you hearing?
Well, right now it's a whole different ball game actually. Typically it used to be just, you know, the hunting breed, but since COVID, and we've always been busy, but since COVID the numbers coming in now are like nothing I've ever seen before, and it's been really hard to keep up. But we're getting some owner surrenders of young dogs now that they probably got when COVID started, and you know, we're seeing some that haven't been socialized a whole lot and have some issues, or they've gone back to work and there's separation anxiety. People have lost their jobs, can't afford the bills anymore, you know, vet bills and things like that. So, and we're still getting the hunting breed, and we are still getting some neglect cases.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this job, obviously, speaking of neglect, has to be very tough.
It is,
yeah.
And I have to focus on the positive, because on a daily basis, you'd never be able to do it. So, you know, I look at these guys here, and, you know, I know now their life is going to be great, right?
Yeah, they're safe now.
And that's what I have to look at, and you know, and just work towards the positive.
Right. So speaking of neglect and you know, all of that, the province does have some animal abuse legislation.
Yes.
Is that enough? Is there more that can be done?
Oh, absolutely more that can be done. We recently had a meeting and we presented some of our ideas, so we're hoping that soon some more change will come.
Mm-hmm. What types of things are you expecting or want to change?
Well, a big one for us is tethering. You know, dogs should not be tethered 24/7, you know, so we're hoping to get a limit on that, you know. And trying to encourage people to, you know, walk your dogs, things like that.
there's a lot of different little things I could get into. I mean, and I could keep you here forever, but you know, it's you know, to bring them inside and you know, treat them as family.
For sure. And speaking of that, these dogs, I mean, having two myself, they are very lovable dogs, and
Absolutely.
there's a lot of misconceptions about that. So you can just tell us a little bit about the breed?
I know, I've often heard people say, oh, you can't bring them inside, you know, they smell. But I mean, they're living outside 24/7. Without a bath, you would smell too.
Yes, exactly.
You know, they're very easy to train. People question us on that. You know, you get a 6 or 7-year-old dog that's lived outside, and they're a whole lot easier to train than a puppy. You know, it's just consistency. Yeah. They adjust to living in the house very quickly, right? You know, I can open a door now for one of my own, and the rain is falling, and you know, 1 foot out, and they're coming right back in, and I'm thinking, you used to live outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that.
Thanks.
Coming up a little bit later, we are going to meet some of these beautiful dogs, and we're going to talk about the weather as well, just after the break.
Well, we asked and you definitely answered. Here and Now has been flooded with absolutely adorable pics of your puppies. In honor of International Dog Day, we'll be sharing some of the many photos you sent us. Thank you so much for that, and we'll continue to share them throughout the show. We'll also be sending some of you a Here and Now goodie bag for you and your furry family member. Well, the show is going to the dogs tonight, but in a good way, I think, Ashley. Those were some viewer photos submitted to us for International Dog Day today. Ashley is live at Beagle Paws tonight, but now it's time to talk about the weather. What's the weekend looking like?
Well, you know what, depending on where you are across the province, some of you are going to see some showers, others are going to see lots of sunshine, but what I can tell you is that some of this humidity is going to stick around as well for parts of the island. So let's take a look at where we sat today. Speaking of humidity, temperatures this afternoon topped out at 26 degrees in St. John's. In fact, that's the warmest that it has been most of this week. And then through central, 26 in Badger as well. And then towards the west coast, your temperatures are sitting in and around the 20-degree mark, and then up across the Big Land into the teens. So if we take a look at that dew point, it's very similar to what we've been seeing. We're at about 19, the dew point's right 19 here in St. John's, and less than that across the rest of the island, but that is still feeling more like 31 with that humidex. So certainly still lots of muggy air, a lot more comfortable though through central, where it's only feeling like 26 in Gander. And then for Corner Brook, nothing really. It's feeling like 22 at the moment. So if you like the humidity, it's going to feel a bit muggy tomorrow, but we'll see a drop in that as we head through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then eventually back up as we head into Wednesday. So we are looking at a bit of a cool down. This is for eastern Newfoundland. And then taking a look at central and western, we will start to see that humidity bump back up in the beginning of next week. And again, that's because the temperatures are going to climb. And as far as eastern Labrador goes, it's going to feel pretty muggy for you as we head through Sunday and then into Tuesday before dropping back down into Wednesday. So taking a look at current satellite radar, not a whole lot happening. There's a few spotty showers, at least it's showing here, likely just Virgus, so it's probably just some heavier cloud cover. But as we head through the night tonight, not a whole lot to talk of, except we will start to see those clouds, you know, maybe a few showers lingering, but the clouds will be on the increase through the overnight for the west coast, and then you'll see some showers. And that'll be the story for southeastern portions of Labrador as well as we head through the overnight and into early Saturday morning. Some of these showers could be fairly heavy at times in those areas. Temperatures tonight going to dip a bit more than they have the last couple of nights, down to about 15 degrees in St. John's. Relatively light winds, around 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Pretty much across the board we're looking at that, and again that chance of rain or periods of rain developing as we get into the morning hours. About 10 degrees in St. Anthony, and then the coolest temperatures again for Lab City, around 4 degrees. You didn't dip too much last night, still in the single digits, but that's generally where you'll sit through the overnight. Now, taking a look at the future tracker that takes us through the day on Saturday. So those showers are going to stick around for the most part, head towards central into the afternoon. Most of eastern Newfoundland should in fact stay fairly dry through the day, which will be very nice. And then southeastern Labrador, you're still looking at that chance of showers as well. The avalanche should stay dry, but you may see some showers lingering through central Newfoundland through the overnight. And then again, same thing for southeastern Labrador. Otherwise, some clearing skies as we get into the evening hours on Saturday, and then into Sunday morning. The trend should be a clearing one across the island, with those showers lingering across the Big Land. So as far as amounts go this weekend, about 10 to 20 millimeters is certainly possible for pockets. We could see pockets of between 20 to 30 millimeters for parts of the west coast. That will likely be in the higher elevations, and we'll see about a trace to maybe 10 millimeters up across the Big Land. Temperatures through the day tomorrow will be in the 20s again, about 24 degrees in St. John's. Those winds out of the southwest, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Bonavista, Clarenville, you'll hover around 22. And then as we head into central, more in the way of showers and periods of rain at times. And temperatures right there across the board, around 19 degrees. Now for the west coast, temperatures a bit cooler than that, between 17 and 19. Your winds will be out of the northwest tomorrow, between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Again, you may see a few peaks of sun developing as the afternoon rolls through, as those showers continue to head further east. Now for southeastern portions of Labrador, your temperatures still into the teens, barely, 16 degrees for Cartwright and 13 in St. Anthony. And as we head towards the rest of the Big Land, this is where the nicest weather at this point will be, about 19 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and 17 in Lab City, with those winds out of the west around 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. So it will be a bit breezy. Now you're actually looking again at a fairly nice stretch of weather through the weekend and into next week as well. But again, that humidity will return, and I'll break that forecast down for you when I come back.
A painter and tattoo artist in Labrador City has been using his artwork to help him and others who are recovering from addictions. Here Now's video producer Daryl Din brings us that story.
So I'm Scott Pitton and I live in Labrador City. I'm a professional painter and tattoo artist. It's pretty amazing. I grew up, painting ever since I was super young, probably 3 or 4 years old. Really, I can remember doing my first paintings, and I was always inspired by the Labrador landscape. So it's kind of been the continuing theme of my work. I sort of split off from painting about 15 years ago and got into doing some tattoos, and now so I kind of spend my time split between tattooing full-time or tattooing part-time and painting part-time. So it's almost a seasonal type of thing, I think it's just my own kind of thing, I like to use lots of contrasting colors, sort of clean lines, nothing too organic. I guess you'd say more it's not realism, but it's not completely abstract, it's sort of a mix of whatever I'm feeling, really. I was battling a 20-year cocaine and alcohol addiction. So by the time I arrived at rehab, painting was pretty well the only thing I had left. So I sort of threw myself back into my work, and I was really rusty because I hadn't painted in a few years, but they had a little art supply cabinet there and some canvases. So I made myself a promise that I was going to paint every single person I was in the treatment center of painting. When I got back from rehab, it was what continued to make me sober, keep me sober. I had something to do. I threw myself back into my work. I started a program which provides free art supplies to recovering addicts. Teaching art lessons, like I said, up here today with the kids at the Smoky Mountain Camp program. All things art, it really saved my life. It took me out of the darkest days I ever had, and it just gave me new purpose, purpose I always had, but I kind of forgot and I kind of lost it over the years, I don't know where it came from, honestly. One day I was just sitting down and I was thinking about the impact that the art had on my own recovery, and a lot of people, they don't even realize they're artists until, and they wouldn't go out and pick the stuff up themselves. So I said, I'm going to try to make, free art supplies accessible to as many people as I can, in hopes maybe this can help them if they're battling addiction, depression, anxiety, anything. I mean, art therapy has been proven for years to be amazing for your mental health, right? And then I partnered up with an organization called LifeWise. I teamed up with them, and they're distributing my kits all across Newfoundland now, helping me. So I've got them in place, and from here to Goose Bay, up on the coast, Northern Peninsula, and now we're moving down towards Corner Brook and Stephenville area. In addiction, you lose so much, and people got to know that there's hope for sure, because I regained every single thing I lost in the last 10 years. I lost a lot, and it took me 9 months to get every single bit of it back with a clear, sober mind. My life is pretty well split between recovery and artwork, and they kind of go hand in hand for me. So every day it's just getting involved in in helping people recover, get to rehabs, helping them fill out their paperwork, stuff like that, and doing good artwork. Don't talk about doing the painting, actually do a painting, or write a book or write a poem, do anything artsy. It's good for the soul.
Oh, very talented. Well, from one form of art to another, you won't see Caitlin Martinez's work in a museum. Instead, it's showcased on fingernails. She shrinks her imagination onto nail beds, painstakingly painting mini manicure masterpieces. Have a look.
Nail art has given me an outlet for me to be creative, and as cheesy it is, to make other people happy, because I've always enjoyed that. I've always enjoyed making everybody feel like a somebody. Right now I'm painting a galaxy jellyfish. My grandmother always did a bunch of art. You go drive around the bay and you see all the little wooden figurines, and you're like, oh yeah, Nan lives there. That's what my Nan would do. So I would do that with her. And over the years, I started drawing more, sketching. I'll take it back. I paint on nails. Just little teeny tiny canvases. Every time I start a new drawing, I always get stressed out initially. Because it's like starting anything, really. You're kind of uncertain on how it's going to turn out until you're closer to being done. But as more elements get added to it and you see it coming together, it's very rewarding, and then I relax a little bit more. Getting those appointments with my clients where I get to chat with them, they can talk about their day, unload if they need to, and then in the process I also have the outlet to create art. And then they have that little reminder going around with them. So if they're having a bad day, they can look down, they can see a little onion on their nail. It'll cheer them up. Once you put the top coat on after finishing the design, it's so satisfying to see your client's reaction, to see what you've managed to put on that teeny tiny canvas. And then of course you have to document it. Even though I'm still new to the industry, something that I think would help other people and would have helped me when I very first started is practice makes progress. Don't compare where you are to where somebody else is, because you might just be in your chapter 1 and somebody else is in their chapter 25. You don't know everything they've had to go through to get where they want to be. So yeah, just stick with it and things will work out.
St. John's performer Jason Wells, perhaps better known by the name Irma Gerd, has been eliminated from Canada's Drag Race. The Queen came in 6th place overall after being beaten in a lip-sync contest. Gerd was the first drag queen from Newfoundland and Labrador and from the entire East Coast to compete on the globally watched series. Gerd spoke with the CBC's Andrew Hawthorne about that big moment and what comes next.
Queens, we've made our decision. Giselle Lullaby. Shantae, you stay.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
You may move to the back of the stage.
I love you, Irma.
Irma Gerd, your comedy is next level. And Gerd, damn it, you're a star.
Oh, stop.
Now sashay away.
You just got eliminated from Drag Race Canada season. I know. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
But congratulations on your run.
Thank you.
You got 6th place, which is nothing to shake a stick at. How did it feel to be on the set, having watched it for such a long time?
Well, you walk into the room and it's just like, oh, this is exactly what it looks like on TV and nothing like what it looks like on TV. It's just a surreal little world.
Yeah.
You get to live in it for a little while and it's so much fun.
Did you feel pressure for representing not only your province but your region here?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm not just representing Newfoundland and Labrador. I get to represent the entire Atlantic provinces. And that's like a huge weight on my shoulders going into the thing. But 6th place, I hope you guys forgive me for not being in a single episode, because I will be back for the finale, baby.
Of course, on the show, you have to create your own looks. You're bringing looks from home. You're doing makeup. You're acting. You're singing. How do you prepare for such a multi-faceted competition?
I mean, I don't think anybody can go in there and be truly prepared. There's so much that you need to do. There's so much that they ask of you. And then things that they throw at you that you would have never expected.
So you were eliminated, and you went out with a Clue reference.
Yes!
Well, I hope you had a good time. I'm going home to have sex with my wife.
It just came to my mind in that time, you know? You don't really plan to go home, so when they say, sashay away, you're like, wait, what am I gonna say? I'm going home to have sex with my wife.
What's next for Irma Gerd?
What's not next for Irma Gerd? The whole world is my oyster. Drag Race, everybody's like, oh, you made it. Like, that's like the finish line of drag. But that's not true. Drag Race is a milestone, is a jumping off point. So now I've got a huge audience, way bigger than I had before. And I just kind of learned that I can sing. I didn't know that about myself. So maybe a song is in the future. Maybe some touring is on the horizon. If somebody's watching this who lives somewhere else, book me.
I'm so proud of what I've done. I got to represent Newfoundland and the East Coast and just got to be a total weirdo on TV. I can boogie out of here and I can say with great confidence, no regrets.
The Prime Minister has now confirmed the appointment of the first Indigenous judge to Canada's top court. Justice Michelle O'Bonsawin officially joins the bench of the Supreme Court of Canada next Thursday, September 1st. She has expertise in the areas of mental health, privacy, and employment law, as well as human rights. O'Bonsawin is Abenaki and was born near Sudbury and is fluently bilingual. She's Justin Trudeau's 5th appointment to the Supreme Court. Well, the president of Ukraine says the world narrowly escaped a radiation disaster yesterday when electricity was cut to Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Volodymyr Zelensky blames Russians' shelling for sparking fires that disconnected the plant from the power grid. Power is needed for cooling and safety systems at the plant, and backup generators had to be employed. The plant has now resumed electricity supplies to Ukraine, but Zelensky wants Russian troops to vacate the site. Russia blames Ukraine for this week's disaster. outage, I should say. Moderna is suing Pfizer and BioNTech for patent infringement and in development of its COVID-19 vaccine. In a statement released today, Moderna alleges Pfizer-BioNTech copied the mRNA technology developed years before the pandemic. The company says it's seeking damages in both the U.S. and Germany, but it won't seek damages on sales to 92 low and middle income countries covered by COVAX. That's the World Health Organization's program for global vaccine equity. Pfizer says it will vigorously defend itself against the allegations. Let's find out who's celebrating. Anniversary greetings going out to Larry and Harriet Lane of Glovertown, who are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Wishing Harvey and Ruth Brenton of Placentia a happy 50th anniversary. It's a 60th anniversary for Garland and Margaret Foss from Bay Verte, now living in Grand Falls, Windsor. Happy 56th wedding anniversary to Robert and Selma Randall. Happy anniversary to Richard and Ethel Park of Gillham's Bay of Islands. They've been married 54 years. Happy 53rd anniversary to Gordon and Florence James of Upper Island Cove. Congratulations to Durham and Mary Hart of Witless Bay on their 57th anniversary. Happy 57th anniversary as well to Des and Jean Dillon from Gander. Wishing Rosalind and Sherman Wheeler of Summerside a happy 52nd anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Leonard and Julia Lynch of Wabush. Happy 65th anniversary to Gilbert and Hazel Hodder of Fredericton. It's a golden anniversary for Phil and Claire Ennis in Southeast Placentia. Happy 53rd anniversary to Max and Peggy Snow of Stephenville. Anniversary greetings going out to John and Kathy Hewitt of Grand Falls, Windsor. It's their 54th. Happy 50th anniversary to James and Angela Moore. Hilda and Nick Green of Winterton are celebrating their 55th anniversary. Anniversary wishes to Eric and Phoebe Thorne from Thornley. They've been married 60 years. Ray and Jean Oak from Fogo are celebrating 56 years of marriage. Congratulations. Happy 62nd anniversary to Harvey and Murtis Moland of Musgrave Harbor. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Russell and Evelyn Froud of Grand Falls, Windsor. Congratulations to Frank and Mary Rideout in Deer Lake on their 50th anniversary. Wishing Joe and Hilda Keating of Marystown a happy 53rd anniversary. Happy 58th anniversary to Harvey and Velma Burton of Hants Harbor. Happy 60th anniversary to Mary and Dan Pomeroy of Kippens. Best wishes to Oswald and Leonie Spurl from Hillview, Trinity Bay on their 50th anniversary. Happy 65th wedding anniversary to Hazen and June Walters of Gander. Congratulations to Nora and Ron Kelly on their 61st wedding anniversary. They're from Freshwater and now live in Placentia Junction. Wishing Eugene and Thelma Pierce of Corner Brook a happy 50th wedding anniversary. Happy 56th anniversary to Ambrose and Bernadette of the Goulds. Best wishes to George and Cora Gillum of Corner Brook, now living in Fredericton, New Brunswick. It's their 60th wedding anniversary. Alice and Blanche Hounsel are celebrating 64 years of marriage tomorrow. Congratulations. Now to some birthdays. Happy birthday to Edna Flight, who's turning 91. It's a 90th birthday for Sarah Oliver from Burnt Point, now living in Old Perlican. Birthday greetings to Gordon Bartlett of Kippens, who's also turning 90. Happy 90th birthday to Adrian Power of Chapel Arm. Wishing Alma Hilliard of Cape Anguille a happy 90th birthday. Birthday greetings to Joan Costello of Fairyland, who's turning 97. James Squires of Burlington is celebrating his 94th birthday. Happy birthday. Happy 91st birthday to Lewis Skinner of Portugal Cove, St. Philip's. Birthday wishes to Doris Snow of St. John's, who's turning 93 tomorrow. Wishing Margaret Hillier of St. John's a happy 98th birthday. Happy 90th birthday to Emma Foster of Burlington. Happy 91st birthday to Marie Reardon in Corner Brook. Verna Keel from Bonavista is celebrating her 90th birthday. Happy birthday, and ending on a milestone, happy 100th birthday to World War II veteran Annie Keeping of Fortune Bay, now living in Toronto. Well, we've been marking International Dog Day today, and believe it or not, we have shared 150 of your dog photos tonight on the show, and that just scratches the surface of how many entries we had. And we have chosen some winners. We chose 3, Jessica Ivany and her dog Lola, Martina Gallagher with Pippin, and Jim Stacy and his dog Amber. Will be sending you out some prize packs, some Here and Now prize packs. But let's check back in with Ashley now at Beagle Paws.
Yes, joining me now, I had to share some of the dogs with you for sure. So joining me now, is Helen. We're going to get down to doggy level here. And this is just one of the many dogs here that are available for foster and adoption. She's just seriously the sweetest. So can you tell us a little bit about Helen?
So Helen came to us a couple of weeks ago. She was an owner surrender. She's a retired hunter. 7 years old, and as you can tell, the sweetest dog ever.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be very lucky to have her.
Yeah. She's so sweet. So she is one of many. How many dogs do we have here at the shelter?
So here at the shelter, we have currently have 7 dogs. We have 1 more in boarding, and we have 30 on our website that are available for adoption. So we have a lot right now.
Okay, so when someone is looking to adopt a beagle, what kinds of things should they be thinking about?
Well, one, a beagle is certainly, not a couch potato. They can be at times.
It's pretty lovable, yeah.
They need some activity. They can live up to, 15 years. So you're looking at a long commitment for sure. And you look at the cost associated to vet care and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. So, you're so sweet. There are, we talked a little bit about some of the myths, earlier. But what makes a beagle such a good dog, other than the fact that she'd probably sleep in my mouth if she could?
Yeah, they're they're super loving, and they're the most forgiving breed. They really are, and they're so smart. They catch on to things so quickly.
Yeah, they definitely are, for sure. So if someone can't adopt, but they do want to help out, how do they go about doing that?
Certainly by fostering. Mm-hmm. It's at no cost to anybody. We supply whatever you need. You can also go to our website at beaglepaws.com. You can, help with the expenses by donating there. And we also have our thrift store on the corner of Black Marsh Road and Simmons Avenue. You can go buy from us there or donate, your housewares and things like that. And that certainly helps us with our vet bills.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to let you guys go for a walk now because it's a beautiful evening for that. And it does look like most of the weekend is going to be fairly beautiful as well. Let's take a look at the forecast as we head into Sunday. So we might see a few showers here on the Avalon for the first half of the morning, but then we should see some clearing skies into the afternoon. The most of the island should be fairly nice through the day, and then we do have some showers that are going to work their way across the big land as we head through the afternoon and evening. And some of these showers could be heavy at times, and we may see somewhere between 20 to as much as 40 millimeters in some of those heavier showers through the day on Sunday up across the big land. So temperatures will be into the 20s for most of you, except along the coast where you'll sit in the teens. And then as far as the island goes, a beautiful day temperature-wise. And again, we're going to say goodbye to the humidity for a day or two, but the temperatures will be hovering between 20 and 22 degrees through the day. Now, as we look ahead to Monday, that shower activity and rain is going to continue for most of the big land, and some of those showers will work their way towards the northern peninsula through the afternoon on Monday. And then through the evening hours, we may see a few cloudy periods, but overall, Monday is actually going to start to feel much warmer into the mid to high 20s. And again, that humidity will make a return as well as we get back into that southwest flow, but lots of sunshine in the mix. Taking a look at the long range forecast, you'll really notice the humidity for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland as we head through Tuesday and even into Wednesday, somewhere between 24 and 25 degrees. So summer still very much here. And then for central Newfoundland, again, you'll see that humidity in a big way on Tuesday, 28 degrees by the time Wednesday rolls through. And then for western Newfoundland, you're looking at similar temperatures, mid to high 20s, and that humidity sticking around with lots of sunshine. Looks like a pretty nice stretch of weather, in fact. For eastern Labrador, as you see your showers through the day or Monday rather, rain, and then showers will continue through Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to see a big dip in that temperature down to about 13 degrees for your Monday, Tuesday around 15, and then back up to the 20s as we go into midweek next week. And then for western Labrador, a little bit of sunshine possible on Tuesday, and then some showers, the story as we head through your Wednesday. Speaking of showers, that's when we get rainbows. And this is a beautiful photo of a rainbow just off of Burnt Point there, in fact. And Bradley Smith shared that great shot with us. Thank you so much for that. Love your weather photos and love for you to send them to us. Send them to our Facebook page, or my Facebook page rather, and Twitter, or email them to nlphotos@cbc.ca, which I may or may not find because there are so many beautiful dog photos in the inbox at the moment.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who sent us the photos. It really warmed my heart to see all of that puppy love out there, and I hope it made some of you at home smile as well. Well, that's it for us on this Friday evening, this International Dog Day. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Good night.
I think they're saying good.